Welcome to the Baboom podcast, your go-to source for expert tips on car stereo installation, vehicle wiring, and all things wiring related. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, we've got the advice to help you power up your ride. Get ready to crank up the volume on your knowledge and make your next wiring project a success.
Ever hear a car roll by, bass so heavy you feel it in your chest, and you just wonder, how? How did they do that without spending, like, a fortune?
Right. It feels like some kind of black magic sometimes.
Well, okay, let's unpack that today, because we're doing a deep dive into building a serious sound pressure level setup, SPL, in your car, but on a budget you can actually live with.
And we've got some really great material to work from here. An article from Baboom called How to Build a Budget-Friendly Sound Pressure Level Setup.
Exactly. And our mission here is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We want to pull out the actionable stuff, the surprising tips to help you figure out how to get maximum sound without, emptying your wallet.
And what's interesting, right from the start, Baboom isn't just saying buy cheap stuff. It's much more about making smart choices.
Strategic planning.
Yeah, strategic. It kind of flips that idea that you have to spend big bucks to get big sound.
Totally. And the very first point they hammer home is knowing your target, your SPL goal.
Makes sense.
Are you trying to hit, say, a respectable 140 dB for the local car meets?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you really chasing, like, 150 plus for actual competitions?
And that number, it's not just for bragging rights, is it?
No way. It dictates everything else. How much power you need, what kind of enclosure, how big it needs to be.
Even how many subs you should be thinking about.
Right. It's the first domino.
It's like knowing your destination before you even start the car. You need to know where you're going to figure out the best way to get there.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And speaking of the journey, let's talk budget. The article dives right in.
Always the elephant in the room.
Yeah, but it's not just having a budget. It's how you spend it for maximum sonic impact.
Yeah.
Baboom really argues for prioritizing.
Focusing the funds where they make the biggest difference in decibels.
And what do they put at the top of that list?
Got to be the subs, right? And the box they go in.
Yep, high output subwoofers and a really well-designed, efficient enclosure. Those are the foundations.
From an engineering perspective, that's spot on. The sub moves the air, creates the sound wave.
And the enclosure.
That's like the megaphone. Focuses and amplifies it. Skimp there, and you're just wasting energy.
Right. So the advice is, figure out the subs and box first. Then worry about allocating funds for amps, wiring, electrical upgrades.
Hold off on the shiny stuff.
Yeah, maybe delay that fancy head unit or the cosmetic bits until you're actually making some noise. No point putting lipstick on a quiet pig.
Ah, exactly.
And get this, for wiring up these power-hungry budget builds, Baboom specifically mentions their own copper-clad aluminum wire, CCA wire.
Ah, CCA. That's often a good budget play.
They position it as a cost-effective way to handle the power without breaking the bank on pure copper, letting you put more money into those subs and the enclosure.
Which makes sense if you're prioritizing. It raises a good question for you listening. Where's your budget going? Is it focused on the SPL generators or getting sidetracked?
Okay, let's zero in on the subwoofers then. The article calls them the bedrock.
The heart of the system.
And they suggest looking beyond just the big famous brands. Explore some budget-friendly options that can still deliver.
Yeah, there are definitely some hidden gems out there, brands that maybe don't have the huge marketing budgets but put the money into performance.
And a key tip they mention, look for subs with dual voice coils, DVCs.
Yes. DVCs give you wiring flexibility, more options.
Or options how?
Well, it lets you configure the final impedance, the electrical resistance that the amplifier sees. You can wire them in series or parallel to match your amp perfectly.
Why is matching so important?
It's crucial for getting the most power transfer from your amp to your subs. Get the impedance wrong and you're leaving power on the table, or worse, potentially damaging your amp. Think of it like finding the right gear on a bike.
Gotcha. Okay, so you've found some good value DVC subs. What's next? The enclosure, right? Baboom says this is make or break.
Absolutely critical. They stress that a bad enclosure or one that's not tuned right for your specific subs will kill your SPL. Doesn't matter how much power you have.
It just limits everything.
Fundamentally, the box isn't just holding the speaker. It's interacting with it acoustically. It shapes the sound.
So what kind of enclosure do they recommend?
A ported enclosure, custom built or at least designed for your specific sub's characteristics, The small parameters.
Those are like the sub's vital stats, right?
Exactly. Tells you how it wants to behave.
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboom.com.
And build it using MDF board. Medium density fiber board.
Sturdy stuff.
Dense, rigid, good for speaker boxes. And don't worry if you're not a woodworking pro.
They mention resources.
Yeah, online car audio communities, calculators, pre-made plans. Lots of help out there. And building it yourself. Huge cost saving compared to buying prefab.
Okay, and here's a number that jumped out at me. A properly designed port alone can give you a gain of 3 to 6 dBs.
That's massive.
Seriously. And 3 dB is basically perceived as doubling the loudness.
So just getting the box right could sound like you doubled your amplifier power.
Without spending money on a bigger amp or straining your electrical system.
That's the power of acoustics. Smart design beats brute force sometimes.
Okay, so subs are in the box. Box is built right. Now we need juice, power, amplifiers.
Muscle.
But Baboom says you don't need the fanciest, most expensive amp on the shelf.
No, it's about the right amp. One that matches your sub's power needs and impedance load.
Their recommendation.
Focus on Class D monoblock amps.
Why Class D?
Efficiency. They generate a lot of power without drawing excessive current from the car's electrical system, and they tend to run cooler. Monoblocks are designed specifically for subs.
Makes sense.
Uh-oh.
And they mention a few brands known for that balance of price and performance.
Yeah, they name Scar Audio, Taramps, Soundcubed, and VX. Brands that often deliver solid power for the money. Maybe fewer bells and whistles, but the core performance is there.
Good options for budget builds. Now, that amp needs clean, stable power to do its job right.
Absolutely critical. Power delivery is everything.
So the article suggests upgrading the alternator if possible.
Which is ideal, but maybe not in everyone's budget initially.
Right, so at a minimum, they strongly recommend the Big 3 upgrade.
Ah, the big 3. Foundational stuff for any high-power audio system.
Explain that quickly.
Sure. You upgrade the 3 main electrical pathways. Alternator positive to battery negative to chassis ground, and engine block to chassis ground.
With thicker wire.
Yeah, much thicker, lower resistance wire. It's like upgrading the main pipes for electricity in your car. Less resistance means power flows easily, voltage stays stable under load.
And guess what wire Baboom suggests for the Big 3?
Let me guess. CCA.
Thick gauge CCA wire, exactly.
Yeah.
To maintain that stable voltage so the amp can perform its best, especially when the bass hits hard.
Stable voltage is key. Prevents the amp from struggling or clipping.
They also say start with a healthy AGM battery, absorbed glass mat.
Right. AGM batteries handle the high current demands of audio systems much better than standard car batteries. Less voltage sag.
And if you're running really high RMS power, maybe even think about a second battery.
Yeah, for serious builds, an auxiliary battery can make a big difference in maintaining voltage stability.
And if wiring diagrams make your head spin.
Baboom apparently has a free expert software tool. That's
Right.
pretty cool. Generates diagrams and gives guidance.
Super helpful, especially for beginners. Avoid those costly mistakes.
Or dangerous ones. Electrical safety is no joke.
Okay, components chosen, power sorted. Now, putting it all together, installation.
The execution phase.
And Baboom makes a strong point here. A clean, thoughtful install can actually get you more output than just throwing more money at parts.
Attention to detail pays off in SPL.
They bring up using that thick gauge CCA power wire. Again, minimize voltage drop. Don't lose power on the way to the amp.
Like having a wide open pipe with the electricity. No restrictions.
And ground connections?
Keep them short.
Yeah.
And connected to solid, sanded, bare metal. A poor ground is like a bottleneck for the electrical current.
Smart tip. Keep signal cables, the RCAs, physically separate from power wires.
Absolutely. Prevents noise, that annoying alternator whine or buzzing, from getting into the audio signal.
And just managing the cables neatly. Not just for looks.
Nope. Protects against vibration damage. Things shake a lot in cars, especially with heavy bass. Secure wiring lasts longer.
They recommend using ferrules or ring terminals for connections.
Yeah, much more secure and reliable than just jamming bare wire into terminals. Better connection, less resistance, less chance of shorts.
Okay, setting the amplifier gain. This is crucial, right?
Hugely important. It's not a volume knob. It's about matching the amp's input sensitivity to the head unit's output voltage.
And the goal is to avoid
clipping, sending a distorted, squared-off signal to your subs that generates heat and kills speakers fast.
So how do you set it right? Baboom suggests.
Using a multimeter or even an oscilloscope app on your phone to measure the output voltage and ensure it's clean, just below the point of clipping.
Protects the subs, ensures clean bass. Makes sense. They even mention a stealth audio setup guide with pictures.
Visual aids are always helpful for installation stuff.
Right, everything's installed, wired cleanly, gain set properly. Are we done?
Not quite. Now comes the tuning phase. It's an ongoing process.
Ah, refinement. How do you start?
Get a measurement tool. A proper decibel meter is best, but even an SPL app on your phone can give you a starting point. Measure your output.
Then what? Experiment?
Exactly. Try moving the enclosure around in your car. Subwoofer facing up, port facing back, sub back, port side. The position can make a surprising difference.
Because of the car's acoustics.
Yeah, the cabin acts like a complex acoustic space. Reflections, standing waves, where you place the source matters.
And you can even fine-tune the port itself.
If you're comfortable with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Adjusting the port length changes the tuning frequency, which can shift where your peak SPL occurs. Maybe optimize it for competition frequencies or just your preference.
Sounds like a lot of trial and error.
It can be, which is why they strongly recommend tapping into online SPL communities.
Learn from others.
Definitely. Budget SPL builders are often really resourceful. They share tips, tricks, hacks.
Like what kind of hacks?
Things like using temporary port blockers to test different tuning, small mods to the enclosure baffle, even ways to reinforce parts of the car cabin to stop panels from vibrating and soaking up bass energy.
Clever stuff. The key is
Track your results. Measure, make one change, measure again, see what works. Make small, incremental adjustments towards your goal.
and if you get hooked and want to upgrade later,
Baboom mentions a wholesale program. Could save some money on future gear if you decide to chase even bigger numbers.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The big takeaway from Baboom seems to be that getting impressive SPL on a budget is totally possible.
It really is. It's not about spending the most money, it's about spending money smartly.
Focus on sub-performance for the price.
A well-designed, efficient enclosure tailored to those subs.
The right Class D amp to power them efficiently.
And clean, solid wiring and installation. Don't neglect the fundamentals.
It really demystifies it, takes away some of that black magic feeling.
Yeah, it provides a clear roadmap. And Baboom positions their CCA wire as part of that budget-friendly solution, helping you make it happen.
And it sounds like they're generally supportive of audio enthusiasts. They mentioned checking out their About page to learn more.
And they have a contact page for questions.
Plus an article section with more tips and guides. Lots of resources.
Seems like they want to help people build cool systems.
All right, so after diving into all these budget-friendly strategies, here's something to think about. Now that you know these techniques are out there, and maybe more accessible than you thought, what SPL goal, one that maybe seemed kind of crazy before, might you actually consider going for now?
Need top-quality electrical wire? Baboom's got you covered. Get your 6-pack today. Each combo comes in 6 different colors and a total of 600 feet of wire. Perfect for any project, and you won't find a better price in the industry. Head over to baboom.com now to snag yours. That's baboom.com.